finally got my palm stones. I never really thought I would get some, but I thought I might eat some. So I got this one carnelian stone. But this video is not about stones. It's about possibly choosing a place that you're compatible with. You probably have seen some of the YouTubers have actually posted things on like numerology, and I kind of dig around, and that's one of the things that I have taken for granted. You know, if you have seen my chart, I have Echo in my third house. So learning is sometimes for me like a mimicking thing. Yeah, so like I'm copying things, I'm learning from others, and that's the fun part too, because it's like sometimes you just don't know what you're gonna get. And nothing's really, the things we get, I find, are not original. Nothing is original there, but the original itself is the idea. What is really original, in my experience, is the ability to be creative itself. So I don't know if that makes sense, but basically what I'm saying is that the only thing original in this world is where we come from, really. But the thing is, everything's expanding, right? The universe is meant to learn of itself, embodied in this form, and all those things. So, I guess you can say, without further ado, what I'm going to talk about, that doesn't make sense. What I'm going to talk about really is like moving to a certain place, because I've been kind of studying synastry, and it's how I kind of want to tie that to relocation, specifically like how you're compatible with the culture. And I've actually drawn up several charts for myself, but I'm going to show you how I kind of discovered what I've been kind of working on a little bit with certain locations, because my North Node, and I'm trying to honor that quite often, like it's in Leo. So that means everything I do is now, that's why I got a carnelian, this beautiful stone. Right here you can see it. It arrived a few days ago, and I actually energized it under the moonlight, and I can sense it, sort of. I don't know, maybe it's just a cold shower and feeling goosebumps, I don't know. But definitely sensing something else, but I don't know what it is yet. And we're not into that, but so my North Node is in Leo, and I kind of want to just honoring that and being creative and kind of working with things that I have. And you know, because the sun rules Leo, my sun is in Libra and the fourth house, and it's conjunct a bunch of things: Arcturus, the fixed star, Hybris, Imhotep, child Adonis. I think Artemis is also there. That's very much that whole being myself in a very sort of, it's a lot to do with instinct and innocence and being creative that way. I don't know if that makes sense. So what I discovered was, what I was doing with this whole creativity thing is like wondering, because there's something that's been interesting me, where it's like, I don't know, it's just for fun, you know, it's like that's part of it, right? So, and one of them is finding what places I could be compatible with, specifically not just like the energy of the place, but like the culture itself. I'll show you what I discovered. Okay, so this one is the charts, or sorry, here. So I have my own path here and all that stuff. But I went to this website called, that's not the website. It's a numerology website. Basically, actually no, I can actually show it to you. Oops, that's not it. 1 second. Okay. So here we have this one. It's, yeah, affinity numerology, that's the one. So you just type in your birthday date of birth, your full name. I would say your full legal name, because the more numbers you have, the more precise it gets. And you type in your, I put in Turkey here, but I don't know yet. But the city, the more specific it is, the more you're going to get, compatibility. So for me, Turkey is a -1, but that's just a country, right? So I discovered it's like, wait a second. North Node for me, first of all, does it include Turkey? I think Turkey is part of that. So North Node in Leo. Leo is all about looking good, right? So shining out, being creative, ostentatiousness, and so it has a lot to do with place. When it comes to mundane stuff like places, it has something to do with castles, not luxury places, but like really like magnanimous places like castles, palaces. But it also has to do with like warm places. So Turkey might be one of them. But I wrote the same thing for Czech Republic, because Czech Republic is apparently, according to Judy Hall, is a Leo thing, because Czech Republic has a lot of castles in its history, right? And it's also something about, castles and jungles and forests. So Germany is one of them. If I go back to the list here, you can see Germany is one of them. But when I discovered Germany, look at that. I made it. There's an asterisk here. I don't know. I can't zoom it in, but it shows that asterisk is right here. So the list is too big. Look how big it is for me for Germany. The whole fucking so many cities. Like seriously, so many cities. I could literally like live almost anywhere in Germany. I also got one for Romania and also Uzbekistan. I did some research. So what I did was, I'll show you how I did it. And it's a little bit of work, but if you're willing to put the effort into it, great. So let's say I type in Turkey, right? But what I did was actually I would look up the divisions of Turkey. So I would look up, first of all, I see, okay, Turkey is -1. So I thought, okay, that's not one. So I didn't focus on Turkey. But what I did was, I'm going to use Turkey as an example. So what I did was I look up the districts of Turkey, and then what I do is this. So as you can see here, there's the districts of Turkey. I'm going to go through the list right here. Right? There's a bunch of these regions. Right? First of all, there's regions, and then there's provinces. So what I would do is, let's say I'm just going to go take a part of it, which is like right here. Actually, I'm going to look up this province, because I have a friend there. So let's say I'm looking up Kahramanmaraş, right? And what I'm going to do is, the option is a municipality. So this must be the city. Okay. So let's say I look up this one. So let's say I go back to location, right? And I type that in, or copy and paste it. And I do this. So that's the province. Click on that. Let's see what changes. 3. So it went from -1 to 3. Right? -1 to 3. And I just, okay. But what if I actually type in the actual city itself? Let's take a look. Because I want to be sure. Okay, so that's a city, right? So if we look at Wikipedia, look at that. See right there on the right, you look it up and you see it's in the province of Kahramanmaraş, and it's in the region, it's in, why is it called Mediterranean? That's weird. Okay, so it's a city, that's city within the municipality, but it's also within the province of this. It's the name, the province is the same as the city. So I would type that in also. Actually, I would go with the official name. Okay, so that means in English that is. Sometimes you'll have to type in city, sometimes you wouldn't. So if it looks like it's repeating, but really it's best because it's a city within the province. If I type in calculated ability, look at that, it went up to 4. And so that's kind of what I did. But what I did was I look at the list first. So I went from, like, I have the country. So let's say, like, what I did was, here's what I did. So I looked up any of the 4s. You can see on the left side here, you see that? It's 4. So Mongolia was a 4 for me. I haven't found a country that has 5 in it. So, compatibility by 5, I don't know if there's any country yet with that. So, don't worry, but I don't know. I don't want to explain this one yet, but because you see Czech Republic there. Because Czech Republic was, first of all, like -1 as a country on its own. Then I went and decided, well, what if I become more specific? So I type in, like, either the region or the province or the administrative division, whatever it is, right? And I go down the list. Sometimes you'll just get the country and then the province and then the city, right? There are other ones, like, for example, here in Bulgaria, you have the province, but then you also have the district below the province and then the city. So there's an additional layer for some of the countries. Like here we have Vratsa right? So there's an example right there. So there's 3 layers. So what I did first was I typed in the country, okay, I got it 4. Then I typed in all the provinces. Literally, I typed in all the provinces, and I made something like, here, let's say we do, there's so many districts in Turkey. Let's say we do let's go for a small country. Let's go all the way to top here. All the way here. Something that I haven't done before. Okay, so let's say Liechtenstein. So we're going to go to Liechtenstein, and I'm going to take off Turkey. I might do that later. So Kahramanmaraş, I'm like good there. I have a friend there, who I haven't actually talked to, we lost contact. I don't know, maybe I'll see him again. I don't know. So here's the thing. So we look up Liechtenstein, and right away I go straight into not geography, but because it's under politics or something like that, or divisions or government, I don't know. Or maybe it's under demographics. Culture. If I just do a search, districts, province, that's interesting. Maybe the country's too small to have states or provinces. We do it this way. I'll show you what I'm doing right now. Okay. look at a map. This is how I get resourceful, and you can learn from this too. You look at the map, and then you probably get like divisions or something like that. I don't know what it is. Here we go. It's something like this, where you get must be divisions. I don't know what that is. So if I look at, because I don't know if they have divisions or what it is. Let's go back to that one. Let's look at the top one there. Rugl. So if I type that in, it's probably going to give me something on Wikipedia. Okay, so it's a large mountainous, okay, municipality. So it's a municipality. So municipality, does that mean necessarily that it's actually a city? I don't know. But if we are probably, see, electoral district. Okay, so they have these districts. So now we found, okay, see, we have these Unterland electoral districts. So if we looked at they have hamlets too. Okay, so we have the municipalities, okay, so electoral districts. Okay, here we go. So we have this one. So we have literally, I would like copy it. I would do this. This is what I would do. I literally copy and paste all of them and put it in the notes. You know, you just do what you can. You don't necessarily have to do it this way. But I'll show you why I'm doing this one. Okay, so you have Lexicon minus 4, right? So to me, that's not enough. It's just like, okay, it's just 4, then what? Right? So now we go into the notes. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm going to copy and paste it. What it's gonna come up like there's a chart, right? All I do is this is Mac, so I just delete that column. Delete that column. It's not important. The numbers are not important right now. Okay. Delete column. Delete column. And delete column. All I want are these. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to go back into location. Okay. I'm just going to paste that. See, now I have see, there's a space there. We don't want that. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Because I just want the list to be I don't want there to be any, what do you call this? Link. I don't want there to be any sort of like external links. I just want the region. So now you see that there's this one. And I'm just going to Liechtenstein. Right? I'll show you why I'm doing this one. So space, I'm actually going to copy that little space there. Why? So that when I copy it, I go to the tip here. It goes space down, space down, space down. It's kind of just being aware of the technicalities, but that's not what's important here. Either way, however you do it, it saves me time when I know the little technicalities. You have to kind of pay attention to them. So now I have this list. But these are just the electoral districts, right? But that's okay, because that'll still give me a number. That'll give me a rating, so to speak, like compatibility rating. Then I calculate compatibility. Then what I do is, you can see right here, so the first three, Rugl, Schellenberg, and Gamprin, are not compatible. So I just go back to the list itself. Go back to the notes. If you can see it, sorry. I don't think you can see it. But if I do it this way, maybe you'll be able to see it. Nope, you're not going to be able to see it. Because it's, oh, I know why. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, so let's go all the way down. Okay, so you can see. So the first three are not part of it. Then I go back to the website. I go back to the actual link. What else? So Eschen, Mauren, Schaan and Planken, and Vaduz, they are not compatible, or at least not highly. I'm always going with the 4 now because that's the highest one I can, the highest compatibility. So I'm going to go with that. So what did I see here? So I just take off the Schaan to Vaduz. That's all I'm doing. Okay. Then I take out the last one, Balsas. Okay. So now I have these. And then I go back to the website. This is quite technical, I know. And I go into what was on my list. What was 4? So I have Eschen first. I click on Eschen. And is it going to list the cities here? I don't see it. It's a municipality, so does that mean that it's actually a city? No. However, you can see that includes the village of Nandam. Okay. I don't see anything else. So I would go for more cities, but all I can see is that it's Nandam is fine. So if I just type in Nandam on my notes section, and I copy and paste that back into the website here, and I just that's it. That's all I do. And I look at the compatibility, it's still 4. So that means I'm going to keep that. That means that city works. Okay. So depends on how many cities you get. Like if you go to certain like it depends on what district you go to, there might be a list of cities. Then you get a list of cities. Right? So here, some of them, like Tresenberg, they have lots of these towns. They actually listed here. But I guess some of them don't have more than that, because Liechtenstein is a small country, so that means it's not going to have a lot. But some, when you have a list like Tresenberg, which is not actually, oh, it's on my list. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just copy and paste all those. Okay, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. Go back to my notes. You see how they all have links? To remove that, I decided I'm just gonna. Okay, so here we have a lot. Not. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Okay. Okay, so I have all these. And I'm going to copy and paste that back into the location compatibility the numerology one, and show you what it looks like. Boom. So that way it looks just like when I copied. I'm actually gonna delete it here, and I'm actually gonna go add a space so that I know that those are the cities. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy and paste that, because that's a municipality, not a town. Then I'm going to copy that. I copy the space in there because I want the spaces in between. So I include the spaces. I consider the spaces important. Okay, so you see now there's no more link when I copied it back into my notes. There you go. Now that we've gone, now that we found the cities, we're going to see which ones are compatible. So all I'm doing is really making it really, really specific, right? There we go. So now we have this. Okay. Spaces are important. If there's too much space, it affects the whole thing. Okay. So Triesenberg is not that high, so I'm going to remove that from my list. Okay. Masesha, not there. Okay. Silum, all the way down to the last city. So the only compatible cities are 4 and higher are Gaflei, Malbun, Rottenboden. That's part of that. Okay. So that's basically an example. So that means I'm going to keep this in my list here. So that's an example of how you do it. The thing is though, what I've been trying to do here is that I've been trying to look for like the founding of the city itself. So let's say I look up Netherlands itself. Let's go back to here. Okay. It doesn't say when it's founded. It says history, Pacific Roman Empire, the village was burned, that's it. They don't know. Okay. Unless we do an actual search, and if somebody's already done it, we can do something else. Liechtenstein birth chart. See, let's take a look. Well, it's probably going to appear on the internet is just Liechtenstein like chart. They have to be more specific. Astrology. Sometimes all you gotta do is you have to be very, very specific, or you gotta be tenacious. So right here, those are just charts. Some of them will not show that. Some of them are just, okay. So there's nothing on that one. There's no, in this case, I'm not being tenacious. I'm just, I don't know, because there's no history in it. So what's going to happen is then what I tend to do now is that, or what I'm realizing now is that instead of looking at it by the city, you look up any cities that are still compatible to you. You do the thing, numerologically speaking, but astrologically speaking, I would just say because there's no access to anything else, or at least let me see if there's one on Eschen. No, there's this guy named Fritz Eschen. I don't know. He's from Germany. Okay. Nothing. So that means that there's nothing not even on the municipality itself. So the best way is to look at the country. Is there a chart for Liechtenstein? There is. So according to this one, the countries, because Liechtenstein was still 4 for me, so it's pretty high up there, close to 5. 5 is ideal, of course. But, okay, so here, there you go. So Then I look at the country. Do I have it on? I actually have saved some of the cities. I don't have its chart for myself. No, because I wasn't thinking of moving to Liechtenstein. It didn't, you know, it didn't occur to me to like think about it and be like, okay, maybe I like to move to Liechtenstein, but maybe now I can, because it is a 4. And it's funny because the sun is in Leo too, which ties in a lot with my North Node in Leo. So it's interesting. So it's what is it? August 23, 1866, 12 a.m. I'm not really sure if that's the exact chart, because every time I get 12 a.m., if you get midnight, usually that means that they don't know exact time when it was. It was the founding of the city or the country. Okay. So then you would just you would look at the country. So for me, I'll show you an example. So I think you've seen it before. If you just look at the country's birth chart, then you get it. If you look it up, birth chart, whatever country you want to put in. I'm gonna look into more like right now how this ties into what I wanted to do, which is I don't know what to call it, mundane synastry. But basically, I'm actually going to. So I have here one that's already opened. I'll show you. Here we go. So I have Romania here. What I'm going to do is go back to charts list. So this is astro.com. And I'm going to natal chart. I'm going to go into, literally I'm going to use synastry. I know that I've never seen this really like done. I don't think I've ever seen this done. So as you probably have seen, some people have seen this, that when you see a synastry chart with outer circle, I forgot which one's which. I'm going to use my basic list of, okay, here we go. Let's see what this looks like. So synastry with Jose, and Romania is I'm on the outside, the red, and yeah, that's not the chart I'm looking for. The chart that I found that, okay, it depends on the order here. So if it's the horoscope for Romania, that's the one that stays inside. If it's the one outside, and so it just switches. But I learned that there's a difference. So if the chart you're looking at is outside, like so in this case, how am I going to influence the culture? Which is weird because you're like one against the culture. That's the way I see it. It's not a one-to-one thing. This is not really synastry. This is like, I don't know what it is, right? So that's what I'm saying. But I still do it anyways because I thought it was like, oh, it's very interesting. How do I influence the culture? So you just switch on this part right here, you just switch right here. So I would go all the way to the top, and then I would go to Romania. And then it'll switch the charts. You see that? Now Romania's chart is outside, mine's is inside. I like this one better than the ones I've seen before, because that way it's clear, I can see the aspects. So I'm still new to synastry, so I'm not going to do a reading for this one. But it's just the way I've seen it, and I want to kind of give it a try. And then there's the actual, what is that one? Synastry, there's a chart aside, there's a composite, I think it's the reference place or midpoint. I'm not sure which one it is, I forgot. I think it's midpoint. It's the one where you have your chart becomes combined. So how you actually work together. So that's another chart. But there's a chart where it shows all three. So you have your chart, the partner's chart, partner, in this case not partner, and then you have the combined. So composite with natal, this one. So composite plus natals and midpoint. So it is the midpoint method. There you go. I find this interesting because see now so there's my chart and there's Romania's chart right there. And then there's our chart together. It's like I made love with Romania. But that's that. So I want to kind of like go into this a little bit once I'm more familiar with synastry elements. See how that works on the mundane level. This is very interesting because like there is a correlation between the person's energy and there's a collective one and vice versa. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I'm still going to work on it. I'm going to experiment on it. I don't know if there is a sub-discipline of that. It's two disciplines combined, synastry and mundane, or synastry of, yeah, it's similar, right? So it's interesting, but I thought it was, like, shall I just share it with you guys? So yeah, there's that. I just wanted to kind of share that. And I wanted to do a quick reading today on the tarot and see what it says. Okay. Because I don't know, I just felt like I was debating whether I should do a tarot reading, but I'm not sure. Still getting used to shuffling cards. Okay, there we go. Okay, that one wants to come out. Two want to come out. That one wants to come up. There's four there. Let's see what it says. I'm going to use my cheat book. Oh, there's actually two here. Oh, that's interesting. 9 of Cups and 9 of Swords. They're both 9. 9 of Cups feels like there's a lot of like confidence. There's a lot of like buildup of like maybe wealth, accumulation of, I don't know, maybe some sort of pride, something to do with pride. I don't know. Confidence, pride, that's what I'm getting. Or being surrounded by support, kind of like I feel like it's kind of like protected. I don't know, he feels kind of safe. 9 of Swords is probably too much responsibility, too much going on. He's in his bed, he's on his bed crying. So I feel like there's probably too much responsibilities. I don't know. King of Wands, okay. He has that look on his face like he's, I don't want to deal with that. Like it's kind of like I'm putting my foot down and he's, I feel like there's salamanders in the background. What is that? Lion, confidence versus, so confidence versus like hiding, kind of like you're not sure where you're headed. It's like there's forces that want to, exert their will on you, but those who are kind of also passive, or rather it's kind of like weak versus strong kind of feel, like it's, and he's kind of confused and it's like, I just want to like stand here and like, I don't know, I just, The Star. Okay. 7, there's 8 stars here. I don't know what that represents. Numerologically speaking, I forgot what that is. I'll figure it out. Something to do with Aquarius here. Something to do with pouring knowledge or wasted knowledge, wasted experience, pouring it back into Earth, and one's being poured on Earth and one's being poured back into the water. So it's kind of like enough knowledge, maybe. I don't know, and being vulnerable. Something to do because she's naked. I don't know. Something to do with like the energies from life itself, life-giving abilities, or like regeneration, one from an earthly perspective and one from the ethereal perspective. Like, I don't know. Upside down. 8 of Wands. Opportunities, okay, that's heading in your direction. I don't know if this is what you're seeing. So it's like, the wands represent air, right? So new knowledge, probably. Is it air or is it fire? I forgot what it represents. But it's upside down. Nine of Cups. Okay. Wishes coming true, sexual satisfaction. Okay. Enjoying the simple pleasures of life. Pleased with what you have achieved. Smugly content. Emotionally satiated. Emotionally satiated. Self-indulgence. Counting your blessings. Counting your blessings. Okay, that makes sense. And then 9 of Swords. Overburdened by thoughts, feeling you have done something wrong, wishing if only, regretting the past, sleepless nights, obsessive sorrow, feeling vulnerable. If you're feeling that, yeah. Okay. It happened that we had 5 cards today. I was going with 4, but okay, that's what came out. King of Wands. Mastering an art, setting an example, a powerful leader, inspirational authority figure, theatrical and charismatic, role model, willing to take a risk based on insight, likes to be center stage, never modest or shy, boldly confident. Okay, it kind of ties in with what I said. It's funny because it's like I was talking about North Node in Leo, so that's kind of ties in. But we also have Jupiter coming in next month. Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. This one ties in more with what I was feeling, like there's some sort of regret. Sometimes I wish I didn't do some of the things I did in the past. Like, I wouldn't say it's regret, it's kind of just like, it's because I like being comfortable. And sometimes this ringing in the ear, I have tinnitus and the dizziness sometimes, like I don't get dizzy, I don't get lightheaded, I just feel like the onset, and it kind of triggers a fear. I can feel it. So there's a part of that as well. But I think this is more general, the collective. Star. Realization of a dream, insight, and self-belief are essential for happiness. Seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, knowing you're going to be successful, freely giving of yourself in love, idealization of a person or goal, visionary progress, new trust in a relationship. Okay, so insight is the self-belief is the earth when she's pouring water on the earth. and then inside is the water back into the water, kind of like processing. Right, inside introspection, kind of like that. 8 of Wands. Getting your priorities sorted out, making clear your intentions, taking swift action, receiving an important message, something okay to download, discovering the missing link, quick developments, reevaluating decisions. Everything is up in the air, taking stock of the situation. Yeah, it is air. Okay, well, I thought that was fun. I've never done an actual like tarot reading by itself. Like I usually do the astrology thing with it. So, anyways, I thought I'd just share that stuff with you guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.